Where is that? Give me a second. I thought I was super prepared. Partially there. Good afternoon. Good early evening. Welcome back, my most ethical light and love crew. Angels of light and love, I welcome you in to direct and protect these messages, my chakras, my auras, my space, my work, my health and wellness, and that of our children. Thanks so very much. We're going to do a little practice run here because I have to realize how I'm being perceived by others who have the right to be skeptical on serious topics. And what this pertains to is trial readiness. Because even in matters of dissolution, regardless of whether or not you feel you're in the right, there are others delegated to respond to that, that are employed to discern that for you from like a non-biased stance. So I want to be more contemplative. It's not 100% about just about my presentation and what people think of me, but I have to be more flexible with certain avenues of communication. I understand that the way I am is not 100% accepted in all venues, but I also want to keep within the range of flexibility where I keep many doors open, including my regular office work. It's not my most preferred, but it's something that's doable and that can carry me through to amplifying my next journey, what I want to segue into. So why would I ruin or tamper with any other resources? There's got to be some kind of compromise. So I want people to see that I can behave in such a manner that is appropriate within those certain avenues. And so that's what I'm doing here. That is my intention and my purpose, and I'm going to execute it well. With that, I realize that there are a lot of rushes into conveying the message, like that's home plate, that's home plate, that's home plate, because of the messages that come through. So I haven't given very much weight to reminding myself that I am the one channeling, and I need to give myself some credit for the channeling, allow myself some pace, allow myself some breathing room, because there are a lot of messages. And I think subconsciously it plays into the whole yes man, people-pleasing factor. But it also tells me that personally, without any audience involved, that I have hit such a dry patch in communications and have not experienced very many invigorating activities. So coming into these new downloads is exciting for me. So it's like a kid in a candy store. There might be one interruption here because I've got to do some other things, but I feel pretty like cleaned up and ready for my small shift tonight. And yeah, that's where I'd like to go. I wanted to feel like I want to present myself with how I feel like at best. And regardless if there's any bites to opportunities within an office setting to carry me through in the interim, at least I know I have the right intentions, and I know exploring those avenues of negotiations and flexibility, just taking on that challenge, taking personal accountability and charge for allowance of an open door without inhibiting a sense of self. I'm going the right way. Okay, so Spirit, what do you want to say about that? I'm using the Book of Shadows Tarot, So Below. Okay? How do you feel about that, Spirit? And I was incorrect. It was not vermilion, but in the back of my head, it was chartreuse. But I couldn't remember if that... I just haven't heard that word in a long time. But it was chartreuse as far as the color of peridot. Okay, so this split up again. So we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. This is a lot. The Empress, excellent. King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, the Sun card in reverse, Judgment in reverse, Four of Wands, Two of Wands in reverse, and the Lovers in reverse. And then what opened up to it was the Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. So what opened up to the two cards was the reiteration of taking some time to go through and unpack a few things, kind of label, instead of, what do you call it, compartmentalizing, we're organizing these areas of our garden, okay, what we'd like to come into fruition. So we've already done the weeding out. This is more of a preparation of a field of abundance. Because after coming back from the Ten of Swords, there's a little bit of a hiatus that occurs. There's contemplation that occurs at rock bottom. When your position feels immovable at first glance. And there's no more negotiations that can be done to get yourself further deep into that pit. Yeah. So there's nothing left to do except rise and rise to the occasion. So Spirit is saying you're doing that well, especially with the Knight of Pentacles in tow right there. Okay, so it's about putting down that sword, because you know that sometimes you just got to pick your battles and do your homework. Yeah, so it's not completely about putting your head down. And it's not really about forfeiting the game. It's knowing that you can be doing so much more with your power than equipping yourself to have another fight. So there's a different route in doing this, because the King of Pentacles is very industrious, very productive. So Spirit says we're going the right way on this. Because right behind the King of Pentacles is that legendary story. It's no longer a myth. It's coming into fruition. It's what belongs to you. It's part of your legacy. So we've set many motions into different phases of our lives. And they've amplified, like, they've gained momentum with more and more produced. So right behind it we have the Sun and the Judgment card in reverse. There are better days ahead. Oh my gosh. Talk about wealth. There are better days ahead. So that's also a signifier that good days are already here. Because of the improvement shown. Home and Hearth, Four of Wands. Ooh, it's Halloween right there. That's so interesting. And it's also in preparation for Thanksgiving too, setting the table outside. Okay, so we've secured a sense of home. Most definitely. And in that, you know, like the Five of Pentacles, how there are people left out in the cold, and inside the church, it's like warm and cozy. It's a signifier that it's lit on the inside, and the sense of community, home and hearth is there. But it's in context as in more inclusive. I'm sorry, more exclusive than inclusive. Whereas with the Sun and Judgment card in the middle of Ten of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Empress, Ace of Swords, and the Four of Wands backing it, the home is lit wherever you go. So, mission accomplished, Spirit says. However, there's so much more to discover because there are so many more relationships ahead that in sizing up as you navigate the terrain, your life experiences, your current experiences, it's not all done just yet. This is a segue into many more. So there's so much more to learn about yourself and your magic. And the more you develop, the more like talent, like-minded, like-hearted sentience you're going to be paired with. It's in the coming. These are two abundant cards. One is know thyself, know what you bring to the table, and represent likewise. And here, this is just a reiteration within its pairing. It's twofold. So it's, you know, it's about the home and hearth situation. It's, you see, for sale. It's a new home. You know that song by Blink-182, A New Hope? It's a new home. That's beautiful. Okay. So next up, what do we have here? Okay. What was in my hand? The Hierophant, what almost dropped. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Hierophant and the Page of Swords in reverse. Okay. Again, we're not taking the Page of Swords in reverse as gossipers, liars, you know, people who bend the truth, two-faced, double talk, etc. We're not taking it as that anymore. What's happening here? Something about misconstruing certain truths. That there's an untangling. If anyone has flown a kite before, there's a lot of untangling to do. It's not just all fun and games. But it's almost like untangling the Christmas lights before you put them up. There's like a little bit of a killjoy in it, but overall, once it's untangled, you're going to be flying high. And this is about establishing the rules of engagement as well. And some interactions may be transactional, and some may be like repeat customers. But overall, there's an untangling of sorts in order to, with the dual intention of beautifying the environment, the landscaping, bringing up the property value. So the other thing that it came in contact with was the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So it's being invested in that. It's like your last pocket of change at the arcade. Okay, what is it that you want to spend it on? Those last few tickets at the carnival, what is it that you want to spend the rest of your time doing. And so, of course, you have to also gauge the environment to see what resources are already taken up, the timing, if there's a line, etc., if you've eaten, and all of these other factors come into play. So in real life, I also got the messaging that there's an older crowd here too, and thinking about what do you want to do with the remaining time you have left. And Spirit is saying to explore the nostalgia because they gave us that impression, that imprint of the arcade. Especially with the kite, and knowing what it's like adulting and the interactions that we have that become more aesthetic and transactional and procedural. Sorry about that. So there's that. Give me 1 second. I have to check on something. So give me a second. Okay. Sorry, my nails are not completely dry, so they're getting a little marled in the process, but it's okay. All right. What do we have here? There's a siren out, and I wonder why. 2 of Swords in reverse and 7 of Cups in reverse. Okay, what is Spirit saying here relative to what we just discovered? Oh, okay. Our interactions and exploring the common thread and the untanglement of moving from one state of being to another, knowing that we want to have fun in life. We want to have that ease. We want to have that sense of wonder and freedom, just like flying a kite. Easy, simple, etc. And we want to have those kinds of relationships too with other sentients. So it's being invested in that, because who knows how much time we have left, regardless of how old we are. So 2 of Swords. And this is what they're telling me. We are our biggest investors, okay? So when we invest in that ease of life, without negotiations to the truth and who we are, we have the opportunity to extend a lifeline to our future selves, our higher selves. So whenever we sell out or buy against the future and F around within our current state, we become, we're the only ones that can primarily take away from that future. That's what they're saying, to kind of visualize it within that, in that level. Okay. It's because the 2 of Swords in reverse is being unblocked, unblocking yourself. There's 2 ways that we can interpret this, okay? And it has the same messaging, but goes about it in different ways, okay? So messaging number 1. So 7 of Cups in reverse is like, this is our only choice, our only chance, or discovering other opportunities. But being paired like this, 20% battery, it's also saying that when we go about it in that route, with the remaining time we have left, kind of, it was like the coast is clear, you know. How do they say it? It's hide and go seek, and you're seeking, and you scout out one area, and like the coast is clear. I forget. It's been such a long time for me anyway, but this is the way to go, is what Spirit is saying. Like, what other option is better? If you have another option that's better, go ahead and speak it. So the other messaging is that Two of Swords in reverse, meaning that it's a prompt, put on our blinders and explore other avenues. Okay. Yeah. I guess that was a good segue. That there are more possibilities than what's fed to you. Because I can tell you this, if I continued on with my office roles, just being a support figure, given the promises of new times and new roles, better pay, better title, life goes on in patterns. And I didn't see anything else that came into fruition. I did my part, and I didn't get what was negotiated to me, what was implied, what was promised in several avenues. So I can tell you that if I stayed within that subset of occupations, I would be very much unfulfilled and 100% underemployed. Talk about being underemployed. I mean, being part-time right now, knowing that just in the interim, I have to make ends meet by securing another fast food job is, I don't know if I could call it saddening for me, but talking about underemployed skills. So, I'm very lucky now to be engaged with my work here, my practice, my creative practice, because there's still areas that I could develop within these interactions. So Spirit's saying, like, don't frown upon your situation. You know, just keep focused. It'll provide a lot of clarity, so that, you know, like, you're one stop, you're like eyes on the prize, and you'll know exactly which one it is. You know, in Indiana Jones, where he had to choose the Holy Grail, the cup that was the Holy Grail, he knew which one was the right one. And so Spirit is saying, you're going to be on target once you cross that bridge, Tina. That's so sweet. Holy smokes, the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So right now it's about giving back to yourself. Yeah. So I was saying in the previous reading that thank you for not making me financially rich right now at this time, so that it wouldn't affect my dissolution. I don't know whether or not I should take that back, whether because I didn't want to close possibilities, have people think twice about investing in me within that realm, because of where we're at with the dissolution, because it may be inapplicable because the whole point is to be able to move on. And so I don't want to continuously be riding on the possibility of spousal support or any of that. So anyway, what do you want to say about that, Spirit? Queen of Pentacles. Spirit says you're not. You're highly abundant. You're in link with the King of Pentacles, so you're just as productive, but super duper loving, mother of all sentience. So your love isn't dependent on the cash flow. Yeah, you're still engaged, and other people, you know, are finding likewise that they agree. The top of the deck is 9 of Wands in reverse. Oh, again, so lowering that guard. Common theme. Yeah. So I think Spirit is saying 100% on this, that even though it's important to lower your guard and not be defensive, because everybody's going through their own journeys and you're only capturing a snippet, regardless of how intuitive you are, Tina. Everybody's going through their own stuff. And not everybody likes to be open about it. And not everybody processes it like you. And everyone has their developing to do, as well as I. So, but at the same time, be mindful of your history and the patternings of it. People have tendencies to walk all over sentience like me. Yeah. So what's behind the 9 of Wands? I just want to know. 4 of Cups. Yep. Definitely saying that. Yeah, people sleep on you. So Spirit saying you can still opt out of that stuff. That stuff. Unnecessary stuff. The Star's in reverse. Why do we get that? So there's a lot of hope to uncover here. Yeah. There's... yeah. It reminds me of the Sun card. What's a clarifier for that, Spirit, before I sign out? Oh. The Tower card in reverse. Oh, that's a good amplifier. Hold on. Okay, I'll be over there. Okay. Sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say. But it's a good clarifier to there being a lot of hope to uncover. It's just going to unfold on its own while we're doing cleanup. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you. But during cleanup, there was more than just the reward, the intrinsic, byproduct value of going through the motions of it. There's so much value in it. Yeah. There's just so many discoveries, and I don't want to ruin it because, I don't want to ruin it. I just don't want to. Yeah. So that's what they're saying during the cleanup of the firm decisions that you make, that you employ. So many more possibilities to come that are bound to come into fruition that make you shine even brighter. I like it. Okay. I don't know if I want to do Bananagrams. I kind of like doing it, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Okay, Bananagrams time. Just a small handful, okay? L. A, E, E. I think you just take your losses. Like, I spoke for up to 4 letters to see if it would elaborate anything more, because I didn't want to start with the loss. But sometimes that's how we start. Truly start. Speaking of the 10 of Swords, that the loss isn't, the 10 of Swords isn't really the finale. There's a intermission between that huge play, right? Like a Midsummer Night's Dream. Like there's a page break between it. I forget what you call it. So it's about accepting the losses, even if it's the first thing that's handed to you. It's okay. It's okay. STIAISOLNAIEAIR. Rain, Serene, Tina, Sina, Silo, Lisa, Nora, Anise. Anise is a spice that we could work with, but it's also a name. Lassie, Selena, Celine, selenite, something that we need to work with. Aaron, Ernie, Ollie, Olson, Alan. I'm getting Lorraine here, but there's only one R. Sally, Nellie, Letty for Leticia, Tori, Tara, Teresa. I feel like I need to put selenite here. Selenite, okay. Rails, I think when somebody flies off the rails, they go. I think that's another way of saying that somebody goes insane. But when someone goes off the rails, it's also kind of off the wall in skateboarding. It's like you did like a major trick. Most people do not even attempt to do that because you have to accept your falls. You have to accept the losses. Yeah. But it's also more commonly known to guide you down or up. To prevent falls. Seeing Loris. I'm seeing Clarice, but there's no C. Something about not seeing Clarice. Oral. Somebody has to do like an oral presentation. Iris. Irene. There's a lot of vowels here left. Oh, hello. I don't know why I keep seeing LRS here. So maybe those initials are significant to someone, but it's sorry, 10% battery, so I'm gonna be almost done. So there's something very significant with that. Also, somebody's saying sorry. I don't know why. Here, SARS. What's SARS? It's some kind of sickness. Is SARS like the mad cow disease thing? Oh, please don't let me divinate that. Lars. Oh, so I think I'm supposed to pick up something from Metallica. I think I'm hearing more like the Forgiven, if I'm getting that right, because this is not 100% targeted to others, but giving ourselves the allowance to move on. I really feel like that. Because the whole intention behind this is to improve myself and the presentation, not for aesthetics and not for what people are supposed to think of me, but allowing for negotiations without compromising a sense of self, that it's still developing me within this avenue. Larson. That's somebody's last name, but it's also a crime here. Why am I getting that here? I don't. Aries? Oh, is Larson like theft, or is it? Yeah. Oh, arson is like setting something on fire. Larson is theft, I feel like. There's something about that. I don't know why I'm getting that. I don't know. I'm trying to tie it back to these readings. I mean, the earlier readings. I think there's a lot of distractions in our world, within our locality especially, that even though there's this stuff going on that normally would make headlines and break us away, I think that's an important thing, that it shouldn't break away our attention from what our intentions are. Definitely. NARS. So somebody is laying the makeup on thick. Yeah, a lot of fake people. Not saying anything about the brand, but what it's, made to do anyway. Disguise a lot. Teresa. I'm getting that here. It's a little hidden, it's a little marled, so maybe Teresa isn't being very straightforward unless it's like you're straight to the point with her. Because I see Terry here, but no Teresa. Even though I was called to get her full name here. I did get Serene. Oh, also Siren. Soul? Or Saul. Where did I see that? I thought we got the Sun card somewhere here. Well, we got the Star card, which is very much like the Sun. Eli, Allie, Sal, Raz, Ron, Roll. Okay. So talk about showing up. It's roll call. They're also saying you're on a roll. I'm on to something here. Yeah. Okay. So there's 4 A's, 4 I's, and 1 S left. You know, there's some people that we need to say goodbye to. That's like, see ya. But also, it's that artist, Sia. It's just screaming at us. So it's Cheap Thrills because of that. 100%. You know, like, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. And I think there's another rhyme that extends to that, but that's funny. Okay, Tia, we have an aunt here. Nia. Ari. Dude, I mean, that's a lot of A's and I's left. I feel like... Nas. Again, Saturday is showing up here too. I forget what SAE stands for. But dude, hold on a sec. There's a lot of messages in here with the 4 A's and the 4 I's here. So I'm just going to show you how it is. Okay. So knowing that we have our groupings now, a regeneration of our kin, there's still recognition that there's still like Judas energy, a lot of snakes still. I think there's fewer than there were before, but it's the reality. So our groupings are very much in the same energy of knowing when to draw the line. So let me just show you what it all looks like here. So having to draw the line, you know, meet in the middle. So it's like, Red Rover, bring S whatever over. And it's like, do. And I'll go over here, and then you draw the line. And it's just strategic. Because before, it was like, we all stand together, united, like a mountainous range. Let's say, I don't know, the Rockies. Actually, I've not been out in nature in such a long time that I've forgotten to aspire to travel to such avenues. But you see like snow-capped mountains here, all underlined here. And so That's what we got here. So we got red rover, bring blah, blah over. And then you're like, oh, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? And then you realize that you don't want them to really come over. So you have to draw the line. Okay. There's that. But I feel like that's not the end of it. So give me a second, okay? So how are you doing today? Yeah, there's somebody being an ASS here, for sure, because it's the beginning of selenite, and it's the second time that it rolled through, and I said I was going to be a little bit more proper here to show that I could behave, but it's making its way through, and sometimes stuff like that happens in life. But they're saying anytime you encounter that energy to use selenite, I carry it with me just about 24/7, and it helps immediately. The more sensitive you become to energies, the more you feel an actual latch on to certain specific areas of your body. And when I do that, I have no shame. I'll put it exactly where I feel it is positioned. And it's usually on the spleen. And definitely usually like also on my heart chakra. So I just take care of it right away. And they become startled. Like, I can't believe she just did that. She risked herself looking like a cuckoo. And she just did it. Like, seriously, I got over myself and I just took care of it right away, regardless of who was looking. And it startled them so much because nobody ever really does that. They just want to look normal in a normal atmosphere, regardless of who's BSing them in the ethers. And so the interaction was just like, it was just cut off right there. I like it. I like it. Air. So working with the air element, that's east. Sword, the truth. So I'm going to take out that ASS energy because I don't need it. I don't need that in my life. NASA. So there's some space discoveries continuing. I think that's obvious, but there's more to explore about otherworldliness than what's out and beyond there. A lot of that can be found, on the inside, because whatever's out there is what we generated anyway, I'm well. How are you? So, now that we look... So regardless of how many teams we have out there, how many, how much of a network we have, it all comes down to us as far as drawing the line. Because we're going to have to be able to do that with or without others. Oh, and this is great. Hold on. I am fine, thank you. Oh, well, thank you. So this initially, when I had that on my Instagram, it's that second pause. So I think after, there's like some kind of rule about how long you pause before starting another sentence, and it allows for some contemplation, allows for digestion, not just for the speaker, but also for the audience, the content. So this is going the right way. I like it. I like it. So, whoopsie. Excuse me. There we go. All right, so I'm going to pull a couple more cards as a finisher. Boop. Queen of Cups. Oh, that's lovely. And boop. Three of Wands in reverse. Oh, the ships are in. Oh, they're saying that we are in order right now. We are the ship, carrying on from the last messaging, and we're in order. Things are all right. And all right. I'm hearing all right now. It's an old song. I don't remember who sang it, but the Hermit card. So time for some rest and relaxation here. The Dark Knight of the Soul is exploring the many ways in which we've neglected, like the corners of our closet and the resources that we have to take care of ourselves. Yeah. Just rediscovering them. Okay. I like it. I like it. Okay. This is a very chill reading. But again, it was all a matter of practice. So thank you very much to all my crew that have donated. Enlightened love is received and employed accordingly. Thank you for respecting my time, my space, my energy, my work, my health and wellness, and that of our children's. And so, upon closing all portals, I send all energies back with their appropriate karmas due, helping initiate that sequence of rollout. Enlightened love, I close all portals. Now.